Hey, everybody. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
How you all doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Finally glad to get you on. I know we've had some scheduling conflicts and because, you know, I'm really bad about writing stuff down. Ask Travis, he knows.
And I've been extremely busy lately as well, in between jobs. And then now I've been doing a lot of stuff with the Show Me Reptile show as well. So, you know, been extremely busy.
Right.
Nice. You just started a new gig, right?
Yeah. So I just started working at another steel factory because my previous one just closed down. They were looking to retire and couldn't find nobody else to purchase the job. So it was just a simple move for me to go from one job to the other because the job that I'm working now is exactly the same thing. I was doing heat treating before, so that's what I'm doing now.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Well,
Steel
we
in
need to
Ohio.
get shout outs real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bam. What's up, Mike?
What's up, big Mike?
Mike, hey, how's it going?
Shauna Kana, evening. Happy Easter to you as well. Oh, who's this dude here?
I have no idea.
Logo. That's a pretty awesome logo.
Yes, it is.
Mad River, what's going on, man?
Okay. Miss Nikki.
Nikki. Sending your snakes out this week. Oh, wait.
Oh, nice.
No, that's more
Kryptonite.
Never mind. Got mixed up.
What's up, Kryptonite?
I already sent theirs out.
Uh-oh. What's up, Sammy?
Sammy, happy Easter to you too.
Sure.
Mr.
up,
James.
James.
Yes, Steve.
Steve Nelson.
Look at that logo. Is that him?
Yeah, that's him as the Mad Hatter, which is perfect. It's perfect.
What's up, Dustin?
Dustin, what's going on? Good to see you.
Let's see here. Yeah. I dropped the ball and left my glasses in the other room again.
What's up, Patrick?
What's up, Patrick? And the Harpins are in the house.
Hey, guys.
Can't wait to see you guys in Tennessee.
Oh, what was this right here?
Mike's
Yes.
Morph Avenue, yeah.
Shoot me a
Okay.
DM, man.
So we'd like to start off our little podcast with a little something special. And we'll go ahead and get it started.
Was that actually
time to warm up, do you?
No.
Well, I guess the good news is that I can get it over with quick. All right. Well, you put me on the big screen. You really don't have to do that. They can hear me just the same, whether I'm in the small or the big
Yeah, but
screen.
I like giving you a hard time.
I know you do. I know you do. All right. So I try to find tasteless stuff, but sometimes you just have to make it up if it's tasteless with respect to reptiles, because that's not really a comedy bit that's popular out there. But today I've got some interesting stuff that I used Grok for, or I should say my wife used Grok for, because she, helps me with everything. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do anything at all. So I really appreciate my wife. She's awesome.
And I appreciate your wife for putting up with you as well.
Yeah, I say that because I don't want her to cut me later. Love you, honey. All right, we'll start out with one. We'll go way back, and what we'll do is we'll go around the room here, and everybody can take a guess. So there's an extinct reptile that was alive like 200 million years ago. Everybody thinks it's a dinosaur, but apparently it's not. It's a reptile. And don't ask me to tell you the difference between dinosaurs and reptiles and where that line demarcates between the two. And I can tell you velociraptors were dinosaurs because they look like birds, but the rest of them, I'm not really sure. But anyway, there's a big, ugly reptile walked on all fours. It had a big, huge sail on its back.
Yep.
Everybody thinks it's a dinosaur, but it's not. So we're going to go around the room and see who can guess what it is. And we're going to start with our guest, the conductor, Mr. Skyhigh Morphs, he gets to guess first.
I would have to say the iguanodon.
The iguanodon, is that your final answer? It's got a big sail on its back.
A big
Walks on all
sail,
fours.
walks on all fours.
Oh, fours. That's why it's not a dinosaur. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the hot seat.
Yeah, that would be my final answer. Yeah.
Iguanodon, final answer. All right. Tyler, what is your final answer?
The Metrodon.
Okay. That's your final answer? No, that's it? You're done?
That's
One and done? Don't think
Yep.
about it? All right. Jamie?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. So I was gonna say Spinosaurus, but that doesn't walk on 4 legs, and the only one I like that's on 4 legs is a Triceratops, and that's not it. So I have no idea.
Sailosaurus. Damn. That's
There you go.
Holly, what do you got? It's
Whatever
not a
Tyler-
garter snake.
Whatever Tyler said.
Whatever Tyler said?
Yeah.
All right. So it is, in fact, the Dimetrodon.
Sorry.
Yeah, a synapsid reptile from the Permian period had a prominent sail formed by elongated neural spines.
Travis, you owe me a snake for that one. I pulled that right out.
You know he's got like the Google over there set up beside
Look,
him or
my- that's
somebody
why I had
holding
my
him
hands
every
like-
week.
I had my
He probably does. He probably does. Thermoregulation to dissipate heat or to warm up, and also for speculation, obviously, for mating.
proud of myself.
Go figure. That's that big, ugly, 4-legged thing with the like canines, and yeah, I think Dustin's right. You know, it was ugly. So anyway, that's probably the worst one I've ever put up. The next one is there is a lizard that gives live birth.
There's a lizard.
There is one lizard that gives live birth in this world. And I will tell you, I can't tell you where it's from. That might give it away.
Can I go first?
Yeah,
Blue tongue skink.
blue tongue skink. All right. That's your final answer?
Yep.
Where's your hands?
Right here. I couldn't look it up that quick.
All right. What does the conductor say? Yeah, his dad's in the background looking it up for him. Where's your dad, Tyler?
He's sleeping. He had a bad headache after today.
Uh-huh.
He's upstairs.
You're in there by yourself?
You want the 360 view? It's
Yeah. Okay. Now look down. Where's the computer?
Under the table.
I just gave someone a seizure while doing that, but it's okay.
That's all right. Amy, what do you? Oh no, I'm sorry. We were going to the conductor. What's your guess?
Oh, I was going to say the same. Since Tyler seems so confident with that.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen blue tongue skinks with eggs.
Yeah, me too. I'm like very confident. Like they curl them up and they thermoregulate. They shiver.
So not live birth on that one.
No.
Jamie, what do you think?
I don't know.
Holly?
I don't know. I'm gonna say some. I don't know. All of the ones I can think of have eggs. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of any. So you know me, I'm gonna go with Tyler.
I don't know.
Travis,
All right,
gives-
well, the answer is the three-toed skink, which is also from Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and the fascinating thing is that they can actually do both. Some will lay eggs and some will give live birth. Same species.
No lie. That's crazy.
blue tongue
Oh,
skinks
that's confusing.
give live birth.
Blue tongue skinks do also?
Yes.
I can't read that. Are they also three-toed skinks?
See,
I
he
think
has
technically yes. A blue tongue skink. Sorry, Travis had to.
No, we're trying to take some dry stuff here. Admittedly, it's kind of dry this time, I know.
Blue tongue skinks are not three-toed skinks. But
Yeah, Reptile and he just showed his phone with the stuff looked up already.
yeah, because the second you told me I was wrong, I had to look it up. Because I don't like that.
All right. So it does say blue tongue skinks?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe the blue tongue skinks are also three-toed skinks. Here's one that's a little more interesting. What chameleon species holds the record for the fastest tongue?
I'm going to say the Parsons chameleon.
I'd say that has the biggest tongue for sure. Those guys are humongous.
I don't even know what. I don't guess I've ever seen one.
I'm gonna go with Jackson's because that's the only one I know besides Parsons.
Jamie,
Okay,
what do you think? Jamie's like, I just want this to be over with.
I'm gonna go with what Travis said. I mean, Tyler said. We'll go with what
I
Tyler
want to
said.
know what the chat thinks. Y'all don't be cheating on
Yeah,
your
what is it? Veiled. What is
Oh,
the
there is
chat
veiled
think?
chameleon too. Yeah, there is veiled.
veiled. Yeah.
Veiled
See,
chameleon.
My
My-
final answer is Jackson.
Mike's got the fastest tongue.
Oh,
All right, so according to Grok, it is the Rampholion spinosus, a small chameleon from Tanzania. There's a tongue projection of 264 meters per second.
whew.
And that's acceleration, so it's meters per second squared, in case you're curious about that.
There's a panther.
So I don't know who the hell measured that. Some grad student somewhere, or who knows, but
right.
not that you care, but now you know.
Thank you.
Now we know.
So you could change these to useless facts instead of useless trivia if you wanted, but your call.
It's a whatever you want.
I'll do better.
Okay. Because it's Easter, and I know I'm for sure waiting on eggs. I haven't had any clutches yet. It's driving me nuts. We're going with egg theme jokes. Egg theme jokes. So ready up for the puns. Why shouldn't you tell an Easter egg a joke?
Don't want
You
to
crack it up.
You might crack it up.
Oh wow.
There you go. What do you call a very tired Easter egg?
boiled.
Not waiting too long. Exhausted.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what is the Easter egg's least favorite day of the week?
Sundays.
It would be the Friday.
Oh my goodness.
These jokes are really eccentric.
A little. Oh, I had an eccentric joke. No, I can't do that one. But I'll do this last one right here. Why did the Easter egg? Or sorry, why? Yeah, why did the Easter egg hide?
Why?
Because it was a little chicken.
Oh my god.
You're welcome. Now, hopefully, I
did.
embarrassed my snakes enough to lay their eggs because I'm sick of waiting.
I'm gonna have to put a little music, little ta 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 on here or something.
Yeah.
At least I didn't sing for you this week. You got singing last time. So
That's right. Yeah. So I did miss the show last week.
Yeah.
Pout, pout, but not really pout, pout. I had a great time with my family. To show a little real quick. I've already put it on stuff, but I'm awful proud of all of my catches and the family time and everything. So here we go.
Let me hear you yell. Fish on, bag it on down, cap. Got her hooked up, break out the gap, brother. Fish on, the line's going tight. Buckle on in, about to be a fight. Gonna make $1 million on the water. Bank account bouncing like a barber. I got another fish on. Yeah, I got a fish on.
What a way to rub it in.
Little rub, little bit. So every April,
There's some nice catfish there too.
yeah, we spend a week at the lake for my dad's birthday. So it was a really good time this year, but unfortunately he needs y'all's prayers. He's in the hospital. They think he had a stroke today. So
Oh, sorry to hear
pray for my
that.
dad. He's-
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but he's a strong dude. So it's been kind of a rough few weeks for our family. So anyway, off other things. I don't want to be downer. Tell us about your breeding plans for 2025, Bryan.
My breeding plans for 2025. Well, a lot of my breeding has been done. I do have a couple more pairings that I'm waiting for a little bit later on in the season. But really this year I'm going for a lot of visuals and a lot of triple and quad hets. So really I'm not going to have too much to sell, but like I am pairing up a visual VPI Exanthic clown boy to a lavender het clown or a het pied girl, hoping for the quads on her. And then I have a triple het to a triple het that I'm triple het hypo G stripe clown that I'm pairing up this later on this year as well. So I'm hoping for the triples on that, which all those will be holdbacks. And then I do have a clutch in the incubator right now. I got about 7 days left on it actually, so really close to be pipping. But that pairing was a dinker female het clown to a visual blade clown, kind of trying to prove out what's going on with her. She's a really bright. She's not fire. She's not pastel. But she's really blushed out, really bright head. So I want to kind of try to figure out what's going on with her. So I'm kind of pairing her up and that's actually what's going to be hatching out here in a couple of days is that. So I'm really excited to see what happens with that. And of course, if everything comes back, I'm still going to have to hold everything back, just because that is my dinker project that I'm working. So,
Yeah.
So that's really, I got like ultra male clutches that I'm waiting for them to lay. I have some other pinstripe clown pied stuff that I'm waiting to lay, and that, and just random stuff that, I paired up in. But like I said, they're all going to probably be holdbacks this year. So,
Okay.
How many clutches are you looking at this season, Bryan?
1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And then I have a split clutch that I'm doing with my buddy. So that will be total of 8.
Nice.
Very good.
That Ultramel, what's in that? What do you have with it?
It's entry or a super entry ultramel or a het ultramel that I'm pairing up to a black pastel bamboo het ultramel, looking for the visuals to help with my future projects.
That's going to be sick.
Yeah, especially with the lily combination of the black pastel and the entry. That alone is a nice little combination.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Yeah, no normals. That's great.
Yeah, the honestly, the black pastel NG Elite combo is probably my favorite Elite combo, and it's weird. I love them. Black pastel NG and cinnamon and NG. I've made some really wicked combos with that.
Yeah.
Added special on top too, which just makes it kick even brighter. What's your most exciting project you're going into this year?
My most exciting project to go into this year is probably my triple het project, because that's building towards my 6 gene recessive, which is my ultimate goal.
Okay, what are the 6 recessives?
It will be VPI Xanthic, Lavender, Clown, Pied, Enhancer, and G Stripe.
Yeah, let God be with you.
Yeah, it definitely is. To hit the 6 gene recessive, it's like 1 in 2,870 something. So it's big odds, and that's just the recessives, no codons. I was trying to hit the 6 gene recessive first, because I don't want to add codons onto it, because if I do hit that 6 gene recessive and it's something that it wasn't what I was planning on doing, I don't want to say, oh, well, that's what I'm going to put a bunch of codoms in. I want to be able to take a step back and then say, okay, well, let me take this gene out. And that's why I'm kind of doing it the way I'm doing it. That way I can see the progression of it as I go. That way, if it is like, oh, well, I added the 4 genes and now it's starting to get washed out with the 5th. Now I can say, okay, I'm going to stop at the 4 genes and then start adding my codoms.
Yeah. No, if honestly, if I can be honest, my one piece of advice is take Lav out.
Lav?
Well, I was trying to figure out how Lav would fit for me.
So Desert Ghost Lav and Hypo Labs don't change. They just look like Lavs. So
Right.
no hypos really work with the straight albino stuff, the lavenders, the candies, and the straight albino stuff. Like the hypos haven't worked, and I don't think the DG has either. So if you just took the Lav out, what would it be? Hypo G.
Well,
DG.
it was
UPI Xanthic.
VPI clown, lavender, Pied, enhancer, G stripe.
Oh, no hypo.
So no hypo.
Okay. I would take the Lav and switch it for hypo in ideal world.
Right.
That might just make it hard to see the other stuff in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's what shed testing's for, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to add color.
Well, like I said, that's also why I'm doing the process I'm doing. That way, as I'm working towards it, if it is something that I decide, well, this ain't what I decide or envisioned it to be, I can always take it another direction. And even with, let's say, a quad or a triple hat those are still worth a little bit of money. You get a double visual, triple hat. Triple visual, triple hat. I mean, that's some power.
Yeah. For Mike's question, I think putting the codoms in while you're working through the project is probably the easiest way to go.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that's what I'm doing is getting the codom together that I want. And if I get a codom with the recessive that I'm looking for already, then, obviously I'll use that.
It is. But for me, with working the 6 genes like that, I don't want to be confused of, is it the codom washing it out or is it the recessive washing it out? And that's the only reason I'm not throwing the codoms into it right away, because I want to see what the 6 gene looks like without the codoms. And that, because like I said, I want to be able to narrow down of, okay, this is what's washing it out, or this is what's taking it a direction that I don't want to take it before I start throwing all these codoms in,
Yep.
Okay. So you're looking for a recessive expression.
Yeah.
So Tyler, what would you put with lavender?
As far as
what is the best gene in your opinion to put with lavender?
See, I was going to put sorry, go ahead.
No, I actually.
You go first and then I'll go. You go first.
Yes. Sorry. Never mind, Tyler. Shut up.
Wow. I'm putting into my lavender, and for my codoms, which I actually have a black pastel acid lavender, so that's what I would put into it, and I also have confusion that I was going to also throw in as well.
I agree with Patrick. He said dark jeans, I would go Barnhart black pastel with lavender.
Yeah.
So, in my dark jeans, and then the dark jeans with pattern mixers, confusion, acid, static, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did just see probably my favorite lavender combo that was made. Justin posted it like 4 days ago. I gotta turn my brightness down.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's stupid. You can't even see it. Like my brightness is not gonna work. But lavender, blackhead, Batman, lavender.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's stupid. So a lot of if you add the dark jeans, it increases the contrast, and then the
Yeah.
obviously the Batman or confusion or pattern genes will make
Yeah, I
it.
see black pastel really common with the lavender. I've got a couple. I've got a dreamsicle pied and a lavender, and my pied lavender confusion, blackhead confusion guy didn't test out for het lavender, so I think I'm just going to get a visual lavender, but I'd like to have a blackhead confusion visual lavender.
I have a visual lavender, Mal. I mean, it's not blackhead or confusion, but it's leopard lavender. Just let me know.
Oh, I like that. I like
He's the only lavender I got. I'm getting away from it, so he's going up for sale.
All right. Well, yeah, I need it. So,
but with the black pastel and the lavender, I honestly think Enchi would help out. You get the awesome pinks that come with the Enchi and the lavender, and then you also have the lilac combination with the black pastel and Enchi. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I like the het lavender. I don't like the visual lavender. The het on that is so pretty. It just elongates.
It does tend to brighten the snakes up a little bit.
It does, but it elongates the alien heads, kind of like your cinnamon does. So,
Right.
Yeah, I have a small lavender project because, I mean, it's interesting, but I have monarch and other stuff.
Right.
But I've had this project and I've not gotten a clutch out of it. And I tried to breed them first season last year, and I got one girl who's not going to go. One girl just ovulated. It's a het lav female and I haven't tested them because I just want to do it the fun way and I don't really care. She's a het lavender, 66 at VPI, 66 at G stripe, and 66 at pied. And then I have a male that is a visual lavender and 66% het for the exact same things. So,
nice. Right up my alley, man.
We'll see what comes out. I don't know. I already have that entire project sold once I cut out of the girl, because
I'll be excited to see those, and that just because that will also help me out on my project to see, okay, well, is that a direction I want to take this? So that's actually awesome.
Again, I could get super lucky, or I could just make like lavender.
Right. Right.
So I said I'll keep the project one more year. Alex, local kid, was looking for lavenders, and I said, okay, I'm going to ultrasound today, and if they don't have follicles, you can take them right now. If they have good follicles, you can have them after they lay. So I have one girl who has nothing, and one girl that I looked and I was like, holy shit, she's at 40. So once she lays and I see what comes out of the clutch, you can have them all.
So Tyler, are you ready for your little tidbit before the sponsor video?
I can share a little tidbit.
Okay.
It's Tyler's Just the Tip. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the first one. There you go. All right. So my tip is a feeding tip because I've gotten this question asked 3 times in the past 5 days on how to get snakes to eat. My 2 favorite ways to get snakes to eat is hatchling bins. Your like 6-quart hatchling rack bins. Cap them off. Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude. I signed up for it. You want to get a hatchling bin, paper towel, small water dish. Put your incubator at 84. I've only done it with males. Put it at 84 and leave them in there for a week, no matter how big or how small the males are. I've only done it with breeding males. Leave them in there for a week, toss the rat in, and usually it'll spark them back onto feeding. I have 95% success on that after 2 weeks. Last year I did it with 15 different males and only 2 of them didn't.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
That's good.
That is probably my favorite feeding trick. And then this one I actually haven't done, but I know a few people who have. Ship it to yourself. So especially now that some shipping is a little more reasonable and affordable, you can send a $15 package to and from Tennessee or Indianapolis right back to your house, and the pressure changes through the flights usually can help them. Again, only done with males that I've heard of, but I guess you could try a female.
So how did you, my questions are stacking up and I got to interrupt and ask them or I'll forget because I have ADHD. How the hell did you come up with that, putting it in the incubator?
That I think was a Justin trick. That it was a Justin or Ozzy. So
okay,
that was I don't know. Frank actually was the one who
Frank.
Was the one who let me in on it. When Frank got in Rossi Reptiles, he was on 20 different Ozzy, Miguel, High Desert, Justin's, all their Patreons. So he picked up some like weird information on all of them and like weird tidbits and things that he does. I do now, but it's from them. But he showed me that trick. He had a male, I think it was a yellow belly fired lace hat clown male, that for a year straight, he would set up for 4 days in a 10 and then take it out on 2 days before he had to feed it, put it in the incubator, feed it in the incubator, let it sit there a day, and then put it back in the 10. Every single week for a year. That's the only way that boy would eat, was he had to get taken out of his 10 series into a 6-quart, into the incubator for 2 or 3 days, taken back out into his 10.
Wow.
And so you just keep regular humidity, keep it at 80% humidity or whatever, or are you up in the humidity too, or what?
No, usually I'd put a small water dish in and
that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
And sometimes I feel bad. Like I've put 12 males in there and they're just like sitting there all, and they eat. And once they eat once, I take them out.
It's a snake timeout.
Yeah, exactly. But just the 100% consistent temperature and humidity in the incubator is what does it. There's no difference in front to back heat. There's no difference in humidity from front to back. It's just consistent. This is what it is. And for some reason they like it. And then I've done it with males from a 55. My male rack. I'll take them out of the 55, put them in the incubator, and then right when I take them out, I put them into a 10 series. And then if they eat in the 10 series for 1 or 2 weeks, they go back into their 55.
That's crazy. You know, that confusion male I was just talking about, this blackhead confusion, fire, het pied, was het lavender, not anymore. He hadn't eaten since November when all my snakes went off food.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is down here with me the other day, and she goes, well, he's not eating because you're not holding him. And I'm like,
no, that ain't it.
And she goes, no, it is. I'm like, all right, well, go hold him, go walk around with him. So she took him, walked around the house with him and played with him for, I don't know, half an hour or whatever. He freaking ate.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. He didn't even wait. There was no, screwing around or anything.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I was like,
well, sometimes
I can't tell my wife because, now she's going to be even more of an expert.
Well, sometimes taking them for a car ride and giving them, shaking things up will kind of trigger it too.
That's the second snake that she has said, you just need to hold it because it's lonely, that has eaten after I've held it. The bitch, the worst snake I've ever had, didn't eat at all 6-8 months since I got it, never was even interested. She's like, you need to start holding her. She's lonely. She's depressed. Look at her sitting back there. So what did I do? I'm at work, because I work from home half the time. I picked that snake up, tried to make sure it didn't bite me, wrap it in my shirt, and I'd sit there and hold it for an hour or so. And it, at first it's like super tight in the ball and it's all scared. And then it's gradually, as the weeks go by, it starts coming out. Sure enough, started eating.
Oh, that's neat. We need to play the sponsor video real quick and we'll be right back.
If you need to accelerate your breeding plans, use Charlie at Grey Rider Reptiles for fast and reliable shed testing services. His testing services offer both speed and accuracy, ensuring that you receive dependable results in a timely manner. As a valued customer, he is happy to offer you a 15% discount on your purchase. Visit www.shedtesting.com and use code TEXOMA15 during checkout to take advantage of the offer. Limit of 2 users per customer.
Meet Sammy, a ball python breeder with a specialty in the pipe project. When you meet him, don't be shy to ask questions about his snakes, as he loves to share his knowledge and experience with others. He is a friendly and approachable guy who is always happy to chat with fellow reptile enthusiasts. Whether you are a seasoned snake breeder or just starting out, Sammy is the perfect person to connect with if you are interested in the pipe project. So keep a lookout for that hot pink shirt.
Python Suzy. He's been professionally fondling pythons since April 2024. Before that, it was just for fun. He has balls and golans, and soon he'll have dwarf Burmese pythons in his collection. He loves dark clowns, leopards, and long walks on the beach with sunsets. He thinks orange dream and blackhead are salt and pepper on a good steak. Hit him up. He'll talk about just about anything.
Perfect.
Travis is posing as Holly in the chat.
Horrible. So, Bryan, we didn't talk about what got you into the reptile industry. Because you came onto the seed, I think fairly recently, is when maybe a year ago was the first time I really heard about you.
Yes. Well, kind of started like everybody else's story. I had reptiles when I was a kid, and that got older. That life happened, had to get rid of the reptiles. Had kids. My youngest daughter one day said she wanted a snake, so of course I wanted a ball python. That was the logical thing. That's what I owned when I was a kid. So fell in love with it. One turned into, now it's running close to 50. And I just hit the ground running. I was like, well, like I said, one overnight turned into 50. I mean, it was that fast, and I never looked back since. Sky's the limit. And as far as like my projects and then how I came about that is, when I got my first, I think I had 3 or 4 at the time. I had a nightmare that they got out and they crawled up underneath my house. Well, as I was crawling up underneath the house in the dream, I was grabbing out handfuls of ball python babies and everything. Like, where's these coming from? And my wife in my dream picked out one, was like, hey, well, what is this? And I looked at her and I just rattled off 6 random genes, and that was my project. After that, it was like no brainer.
You had the Python dream.
Yes.
Which is way better than the Kung Fu Panda's noodle dream.
I'll take it.
You did become the Dragon Warrior, though, so I mean, there is that.
But
so how
yeah.
long have you been doing this, Bryan?
Been keeping since 2002, so going on about 3 years now. Actually, this will be my 2nd year breeding, so breeding for 2 years.
Okay. So this is your 2nd season?
Yes.
And you're already stacking these hats?
Yes.
So tell me about like your first several purchases. Like, what were you thinking? I mean, did you do the typical, well, that snake's pretty, that one's pretty, I'm going to stick them together, or?
That was my first 3 purchases. After that, I actually joined Billy's Patreon and started learning about, how to get into recesses on the project or a budget, how to properly do a project, and started watching his MC academies and learning from there. And then after that everything was, this is what I want for my project. This is what I'm going to need for my project. This is how I'm going to build my future. And okay. I just hit the ground running, hasn't stopped. Everything I do, I usually put 110% into it, and I think that's what got me onto Chris Eaton's radar, is because I always put 110% into everything I did. Got onto the 15 minutes of lame, which was a great opportunity for me, really pushed my social media into new heights, which in turn had me starting to podcast. I started doing my own podcast, and that started pushing that real hard. Fell into kind of a good situation where I had an opportunity arise, and I had to jump on that opportunity, which is going with the Show Me Reptile show. And now I'm doing something I love, for kind of a living.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it sounds like it's been pretty smooth sailing, but I'm sure you've had setbacks and you've had moments where you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is a mistake. Would you care to share any of that?
Well, really,
What was
no.
your biggest setback that really made you question everything?
Really, I really can't say I had any setbacks as far as anything. Like my first season was smooth sailing. I really haven't had anything really dramatic happen in my life since I've been breeding to set me back or anything. I mean, I've had financial hits on me, but I never let anything really stand in the way of my dream.
That's good.
All right.
And don't let anything stand in front of it or anybody. That's another big one.
No. And I keep preaching that on my podcast as well is, don't ever let anything, set you back. Don't ever settle for anything, because there's so many times I've watched people get a job, and they have a passion. They're like, oh man, I want to do this. And let's say I want to be a doctor, oh man, that's their passion. They really, really want to do it. But to get to that doctor, they take that, job working at McDonald's or, Taco Bell. And then next thing 20 years later, you ask them, well, what happened to being a doctor? Well, I'm a manager of Taco Bell now. They let that job suck the life and their dream out of them. I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm not going to let a job, I'm not going to let a person, I'm not going to let an obstacle stand in my way.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I try to tell my
I
kids.
was gonna go ahead, Jamie.
So I have 2 teenage boys that are 17 and like stepping into manhood. And I'm talking to them all the time about make sure you're going for a steak. If you want a steak, don't settle for a hamburger.
Yes.
Right? Don't settle
Exactly.
for a hamburger.
Get a hamburger.
No.
No, I think you guys are right on. I mean, I think there's everyone on here, I guess probably maybe except for Bryan, has been through a setback in the industry, right? And it's a game of endurance and attrition.
Yeah.
So you sit here and it's one of my favorite stories about that is Bob Vu buying deserts and what happened on that market tank. And he was like, yeah, I bought a desert for like 15 grand and they tanked in price. But after, it didn't take 2 years. It took I think it was 8 seasons to make his money back.
Wow.
But he made his money back.
Yeah.
On that animal.
He didn't give up.
Right. Same thing like with Antoine at High Desert Pythons. Like he's still here. He lost a lot of money in the desert project. That's why that's his name.
Right.
And shit happens all the time that is going to make you want to stop.
Yes.
I've had my fair share. It's what I want to do. And I think it's what everyone here wants to do if they could all day.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So just take the good with the bad and just keep fucking going. Like I'm sitting in a spot right now that's the best I've ever been.
Right.
Right. I said
You're going big time, Tyler. You're doing balls, rats. I just got an order from him, by the way. So my snakes ate your rats.
Hell yeah. There we go.
I named them all Tyler.
Thank you. Hopefully everything ate because they were named Tyler. And
well, I will tell you, they were a lot cleaner than rats that I had been buying.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
So, and the bags had really, really nice markings on them, labels. So I knew exactly what the hell was in each bag, and I wasn't trying to decipher handwriting.
You got to see this label gun we got. It's wicked. I don't even know how it works. It's just like a screen, and then you type in what you want on it, and it just runs across the bag, and it just prints.
It sounds like you should do an Instagram reel and start putting stuff on Fuzzy Acres.
Those label makers. I've actually heard of those label makers.
Yeah, it's
Shane made it.
I I know that's my next project is more social media push for the rats, but it's
Like you don't have enough going on, whatever. I'm just nagging.
I will say one thing though. I have one small criticism.
shit. No.
Live on Insta.
I
My
had
goodness.
one of them. I had a guinea pig in it.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, I can't be right. Okay. God.
April Fools. Wrong holiday. It's Easter. Nice.
Right.
So Bryan, you do a podcast. Is it with Steve?
It's actually it's not with Steve. It's me and Mike Duvall. We do a podcast every Saturday night at 8:00. It's over now on the Show Me Reptile Show YouTube channel. It's just a really variety show. I bring on guests. Lately, Steve has been sliding through, and that I have been working really closely with me and Steve, Mickey, and the whole Show Me crew. We're kind of building something big right now. I don't know if I'm at liberty to really speak on it, so I'm, that's kind of in the hush hush. But just know there is a lot of big things coming out of the Show Me Reptile show, and you might want to keep an eye out for that. But like I said, yeah, I've been working really closely with Steve, but the podcast is usually just me and Mike Duvall as my co-host. And
is
like,
that 8:00? Is that Eastern Central? What time is that? What time?
Eastern.
Awesome.
Yeah. We have, like I said, we do guests. We do have some big name books. We did have Tyler booked, but we had to reschedule that. Which is no problem. We gotta get that sometime in the date.
Yeah,
but we also have like Chrissy and Paul from Large Mars coming on. We have Adam from Proper Royals, just a variety of people, because I don't want to keep it all ball python related. I do want to try to have other people on. I want to have like gecko breeders on, like I had Will and Audrey from Flawless on. I was trying to get Exotic Fire Hogs on, but he had a family emergency, so I got to reschedule with him. But it's just kind of a variety show. And then the first Saturday of every month is just kind of us just hanging out, shooting the bull crap, having fun, talking about whatever.
Nice.
Bryan, where do you see this going in the next 5 years for you? Like, what's your plans? Expanding clutch numbers, increasing podcast stuff. Like, is there a chance you scale back on your day job? Like, best case scenario, what do you
for best case scenario? I would like to be in 5 years doing this full time. What I'm doing now, that is going out promoting the shows. As far as clutch sizes, I'm hoping to be around 20 clutches a year. I don't want to go really too far like into it doing hundreds of clutches, because I don't want to oversaturate with the market with something that don't need to be oversaturated with. And not only that, is a lot of my pairings in those 5 years are going to be more focused towards my projects. So a lot of them are going to be more holdbacks than what's up for sale. And us breeders all know, usually what we put up for sale is what we're not hitting on our odds, and that, let's face it, we'll be honest, and that is what we don't want. And that, and it's not saying that they're bad, nothing wrong with the animals, or they're unhealthy animals. They're beautiful animals. They're just not the odds. That's not the combination of genes that we were looking for. So that's what we put up for sale. And so a lot of my clutches are going to be holdbacks. As far as my business and that I would like to be able to move out of where I'm living now and have a nice house. And I'm not really crazy, just so I can have or be able to build a facility and that on my property, because where I'm at now, I can't build nothing. I'm in the city. I'm in my, I do own my house, but I can't really do nothing with it. I'm cramped. So I would like to, like I said, get my own house, get a little bit of land so I can build something on it.
And just a follow-up to that same question, maybe deeper thought, but what's your step-by-step kind of plan to get you there? Like, what do you have to do over the next few years for you to fulfill that? Most important things to do.
Most important things to do. Really focus on the social media, building my social media presence. That way, with that social media also comes views, which brings views to my clutches and what I do have for sale. Then the second goal would also be to cut back on the day job and start focusing more on, like I said, going out and doing more shows, vending more shows, and just getting out there and putting myself out there more.
There you go.
Nice. So with respect to those steps, Jamie, did you have a question?
Oh, I was just I just have a couple little questions I can add at the end. Keep going with your conversation. It's cool.
Well, I was going to ask you to follow on Tyler's question, like from an operational / financial standpoint, if you're comfortable with it, what are the steps that you're taking to get there? Like, are you able to put money away each month? How are you setting yourself up to get to that point?
How I'm setting up myself? Well, I do have a business account. I have my LLC, so I'm able to claim the taxes and do all the taxes, as well as I keep all anything I keep as far as profits, which, let's face it, none of it is profit. None of it. Everything either goes back to buying bedding, buying food for the rodents, buying bedding for the rodents, or just help paying the bills for the, electricity, the water, the housing of the animals. So my goal is hopefully to break even in that here in 2 to 3 years. I am very close to doing that. I know last year was my first year. My initial investment was about 10,000 into the business. Last year, I brought back about 5,000. After all the costs and everything, I probably profited about maybe $1,000 off that, I am slowly working towards it, but I am able, because I do work 2 other jobs. So I am able to put money back to save from those jobs. And that's kind of how I'm saving and planning to move forward.
You're bootstrapping the hell out of it, basically.
Yeah.
Shit.
Big time elbow grease.
Yes. I
That's
mean,
what it takes.
Yeah, if you're not out there putting yourself through the meat grinder, then what's it all for? Because that's the ultimate goal, is so we can do this full time, and it has to start somewhere. It doesn't just start out of thin air. It has to financially come out of somewhere. So yeah, it's all coming out of really my personal accounts, or like I said, my jobs, which I put that money back and save. And then any sales that I make, usually the sales from the ball python, like last year, all that went to either paying for the business itself. It helped pay for the LLCs and everything. And then after it was all said and done, I had about $1,000 to reinvest into the business. So
Nice.
Okay.
What was your question, Jamie?
Well, first off, I wanted to say that it's really cool seeing you and Steve jump up and start doing more stuff with the Show Me shows. Here locally in Knoxville, Tennessee, we've got Show Me shows that happen here quite often. And so that's where new breeders like you and me, maybe not necessarily you, but me for sure, where I'll be starting a show. I'm not going to do my first one there just because it didn't fall in line with vacation, but we'll be doing the later ones at the Show Me show. So that's cool. So why are you called conductors? Steve give you a nickname? Did he give you that? Because he gave me mine and I love it. So I just wonder where it came from.
It kind of, it's something actually I kind of earned. Because when me and Steve, I went to Tinley, and when actually me and Tyler met in March.
Yeah.
I met Steve up there as well because I was doing a podcast. He was actually my guest that weekend on my podcast. So I figured, well, if I can get him up there to Tinley, I can get him up there to Tinley and do the podcast where I'm actually, you know, physically touching them. Because it's one thing to be able to, you know, do the podcast, see us here, you know, on the screen, but it's different when you're actually able to touch the person and sit next to you and create that bond. So me and him started talking. We ended up figuring, well, we can really work good together. And he, how should I put it? He started giving me some tasks to do, and I was, you know, I'm a meat grinder. You know, I put myself through the meat grinder. Like I said, when I do something, I give it 110%. So I was on it. I was driving that train forward, continually drive that train forward. And he was like, man, you're like my conductor. You're going to be in the lead driving this train. I was like, yeah, you know, that's what I do. Like, I give it my all. If I'm not giving it my all, then I'm not trying. If I'm not trying, then what's the fucking point? I'm sorry about my language.
You're good.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right. That's the cleaned up way of saying that for sure. Yeah. But your way gets it across much easier. But that's what my dad would tell me.
I understand his version very well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's on your shirt? Because it's super colorful and I love it. So
actually, this is a shirt from the Show Me Reptile shows. Is some of their merch. It actually has, I don't know if you guys can see it. The nice,
nice
logo going all the way down the back.
I like that it's different on the front and the back. That is really cool. Yes. It's not the same bold on the back. That's smart.
Yes. Actually, and hold on real quick. I actually have another one that I really, really like. Let me grab this here. This one.
Oh yeah.
I really like. Now it is slacking on the back, but the design is
the lizards on the back. That's cool.
Yeah. Like they really have some really awesome merch. So I was down at the Show Me Reptile show last weekend. And I was actually in Marion, Ohio. So while I was down there, I ended up picking up some merch as well. So, and actually, speaking of which, I will be in Murfreesboro, or I do believe I'm pursuing
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yes, I will be.
When?
Next weekend, okay. April 26th and 27th. It should be me and my co-host Mike Duvall. Now, don't quote me on this one, but I do believe Steve Nelson is going to be down there as well.
Oh, I'm going to have to come over and visit.
We said it.
There you go, right there. So
get some pictures.
Brad,
I'm going to have to come and visit.
I'm actually from Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, okay. So I'm from Monroe, Michigan, or originally from Detroit, but I went to high school and all that stuff in Monroe, Michigan. So that's just right over the Toledo, right there.
Yes. Actually,
we're neighbors.
Yeah, and you're really close to my co-host Mike Duvall because he's in, I do believe, Temperance, Michigan, or somewhere up in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Tennessee now, but I grew up in Michigan.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I can get to Murfreesboro. That you said next weekend? No problem.
Yeah. We're going to be out there next weekend, hanging out, getting content, having a great time. It's going to be a blast, you know. So if you guys can come out, make sure you guys.
We're gonna have to stop by. I'm gonna have to talk to my coordinator, my husband, and we'll probably make a trip for sure.
He's in, my co-host is in Lansing, Michigan.
Yes. Oh man. Hopefully they got the water situation fixed.
Yeah.
And I got one more question for you. This one's a little hard. So if you could only pick, you've talked about two things that you're passionate about, other than your family, because you'll always pick your family. So not including your family, you have your snakes and all your social media stuff. And you've got, these are all basically new, like me too, like within the last 2 years. So if you could only pick one, which one feeds you more, the ball pythons or the social media?
Man, because really that's a hard one because
I know, I said it was a hard
they
one.
go hand in hand. Without one, you don't really have the other. But I would have to say my ball pythons, because even without the social media, I can get out there and vend the shows without social media. So I will take my ball pythons over the social media, but guaranteed I would still be out there at all the shows.
Yeah. Awesome. Good answer. We should all be here for the animals, by the way. It was kind of a trick question, but you aced it. Good job.
Social media overdoing the snakes that go like promote couches or something.
I wasn't scared of the social media stuff. I was way scarier of that than getting bit by a snake. Still am, but we got it going.
Now, I have a question for all of you guys. If there was one creature in the world that you guys can take out without any consequences of it hurting the environment or the ecosystem. Monkeys.
I hate monkeys. There's no reason for them. We don't need monkeys.
Really? Wow.
Get them out.
Wow, that's pretty strong. He didn't have to think about it. The question was finished. Go ahead.
Oh, I have reason to hate monkeys. All of them. The ones with the tails, the ones without the tails, all of them.
But an insect.
So what would you guys eradicate off the face of the earth?
If I could get rid of anything, it would be fire ants. I live in the South. Yo, they're bad.
Just say ants. Get rid of all of them.
No. Fire ants. I don't care about the rest of them.
Ticks. They're not even supposed to be out there anyways. Dang ticks. I hate them. They suck so bad. I hate ticks. Ticks suck.
Now, my answer actually seems a little dark, but my answer would be the human race, believe it or not. The reason why I picked the human race is because the human race is the only species that has never done anything for the earth or the environment to help it. And it will never continue to do anything to help the environment. It's always going to destroy it. And the human race is the only thing that you can take off the human or the face of the earth without it affecting the environment or the ecosystem.
I recycle. All right.
There we go.
But it's kind of a Thanos thing.
Well, see, I guess I didn't have to do the family precursor thing because he just eradicated every human on the planet.
Oh, Brian, I challenge you to think of this world without monkeys. And I guarantee you would appreciate it a lot more. You don't know what monkeys do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you don't see.
Didn't we evolve from monkeys? So they would.
Some people think, not everybody says that.
God put us here.
I drink in water a lot. That's great. All right, guys. I guess we're going to end it on that note. Thank you for coming on, Brian, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, no monkeys.